Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street. Greg and James, beat 'em up. That's right. I'm all distracted because you came on with the wrong... There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
That's more visually appealing.
Party people in the place to
Yeah.
be. Live from 58 Dream Street. Greg and James, beat 'em up. That's right. It's your favorite show on Twitch. The one where this guy, James, and this guy,
Greg,
play beat 'em up video games. And lately, we also work on this spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the people about the spreadsheet, Greg.
So basically, last week and this week, hopefully ending this week, we have been slotting the games that we've previously played in phase 1 of our tour through the history of beat 'em ups.
And what's phase 1, Greg?
So we are playing all of the notable beat 'em up games from the inception of the beat 'em up all the way to 1993. So we have played now, how many games is it, James?
41.
41 games.
We have to debate whether one of our 41 counts.
Yeah.
That's one of the issues we need to resolve tonight.
But as part of that, what we're doing now is going through all the games we've played previously and slotting them into 3 tiers. We're not listing them yet. We're not organizing them by what's the best and the worst game.
No, we don't know enough yet.
We don't know enough yet. We haven't played everything, just the notables. We do plan on playing everything.
This is how we're calibrating ourselves to understand what the beat 'em up is.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it great.
So for now, we're sliding into 3 tiers. That's the boss tier for the games that we deem are in the upper echelon of beat 'em ups that we've played. The mid tier for, games that were fine but not,
games that are good.
Games that
if you want to play a beat 'em up, if you got nothing to do for like 45 minutes, your friend's there.
And then the goon tier for games that are bad. for games that are not games that we really want to replay, or not games that we necessarily enjoyed playing. Failed experiments or just failed swings.
Just things that suck. Things that genuinely will make your day worse if you take the time to play them. So we've already put a number of games in these tiers.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the games in the boss tier. There's no scrolling to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we have Nekketsu Kowa Kunio-kun, the first ever beat 'em up.
Brought to America as Renegade. Yeah.
In the United States as Renegade. We put Double Dragon twice because, my goodness, the NES and the arcade versions of that game are sufficiently distinct to warrant separate entries, and they're both great.
Mm-hmm.
We have Double Dragon 2, The Revenge for NES. From our recollection, we felt like Double Dragon Arcade, like the first one, is important enough and it's dynamic enough in its like historical significance that the immediate breaking of the progression of arcade games, because this was as soon as the second one that Technos made, they were like, you know what if we just let them continue right where they are? They'll probably put more quarters in.
Yeah.
Which I bet is true. But it does make the game less good, especially in an at-home context when you have infinite quarters.
That's true, yeah. So we've put the NES on the NES Double Dragon 2.
It's one of the best games.
I'd
put that high on a list of just like best video games.
Yeah, okay. And then we've got Downtown Nekketsu Story, River City Ransom.
And I think I remember why I put that asterisk there.
Yeah.
I think it was because I was like, do these have to have separate ones? But they clearly don't.
No,
so
they're the same.
I don't really agree that I should. I don't see why I did that.
No,
but I think that's what
it's just a beautiful sun now.
I'll take it away later so we don't have to look at the raw spreadsheet anymore.
As well as period drama, the sort of reskin of that game. A bit more depth in period drama than in River City Ransom.
Yeah, it's not a reskin. It's an
entire game.
It's a spiritual sequel.
But I mean, in terms of reskinning, it switches the setting to that of feudal Japan. It's what's the better word for that?
It's whatever it's called when like Archie's the caveman.
Yeah, exactly.
it's the
exactly
same genre
like that.
as when Archie is a caveman.
Yeah. So if anybody in the comments knows what it means when Archie is a caveman, let us know.
Is that just called Archie BC or is it Archie like 30,000 BC or something?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. They've also done ones they're doing ones currently where it's Archie, but it's the 1950s, which is a bit.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because Archie is supposed to be modern day always. The sliding time scale of Archie. And then we've got the best, and
Why
I
is
would
there
say
no Archie beat 'em up?
that's a good
It
question.
seems like an oversight.
There's some Archie video games. They're not good, but they're out there.
Yeah.
Then we've got the
What the fuck, Konami?
yeah, Konami would be the ones, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Then we've got the best, and some would say the only good Battletoads game.
We got to make a change to the spreadsheet on that exact note.
Battletoads and Double Dragon, the ultimate team. And finally, Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder, the best Golden Axe game.
Don't let anybody tell you different. And that's a game that overcomes. So I think something that we should think about, maybe not today, because we're actually going to be diving into playing a lot of arcade games in Phase 2.
Yeah.
But something that we should think about going through Phase 2 is, given that we have infinite quarters because we're at home, and the quarter sucking progression mechanic kills the game.
Yeah.
And there are console games that are just like, yeah, whatever, you have infinite continues, just press start and just carry on from where you died.
Yeah.
But those also suck for the same reason. But there's what is it that can make a game, because Revenge of Death Adder absolutely transcends, and I think some of it is spectacle and experience, and some of it I guess is not falling into the worst quarter munching habits.
I think it's the quarter munching habits that cause something to excel, because I think there's a big difference between is this a game that I can actually build skill at? If I do feed this thing, if I feed this thing $5 worth of quarters, do I feel like I'm better at it after $5 worth of quarters?
Do I feel like I could do this run for $4 next time?
Yeah, exactly. And some of these games, it's just that we played them to completion, and it really does feel like that final, usually the final boss.
Oh, you're just ding.
You're just there's no way.
They just killing you with one shot.
There's no way. Oh no, did we?
Oh, are you kidding me? I did so much writing too.
You did too.
Ah.
Oh, did you not hit done?
Thank you for alerting me, Clef. I didn't hit done.
Ah.
Well, that's disappointing. I even gave us an elaborate stupid title. I do this not that I've done it 3 or 4 times in several years, but boy do I feel frustrated every time. Because it's never that I just forgot to change it. It's that I changed everything. I put in the work. Hello, Clef.
Hello.
But yeah, I think you're right, Greg.
Yeah.
About the game obviously just being all right, pay me a ton if you want to win.
Yeah.
You're in this far. So then we have the mid tier, and we're gonna need to make a change here right away.
Yes.
I gotta learn how to freeze the top pane.
We won't run through all these games, but needless to say, these are the games we've played that are that, as James said, they're fun games. If you want to play a beat 'em up, these won't do you wrong. But just for one reason or another, they're not notable, or they don't reach that echelon of oh yeah. If I have a choice of all the beat 'em ups in the world, I'm probably not putting my time into Dynasty Wars.
No.
Yeah.
But Dynasty Wars is neat.
But Dynasty Wars is neat.
You can be a mid-tier game that's this is gonna be high mid. And then some Double Dragon 3: The Sacred Stones is a game that with a few different choices could be great.
Yeah.
But in its actual form is kind of just oh man. I bet most people's experience of that game is literally fighting the guys in the dojo and then getting knocked out on the street and then doing that a few times and then never playing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got to make a change here right away.
We do have to make a change, though, before we run down a goon tier.
Last time, we quite literally said, I said, Greg, do you need to leave now? And Greg said, oh, I do in a moment. Let's just quickly do the Battletoads games because that'll be easy. And then we had an extended discussion where I eventually convinced Greg that we should go, as you saw, Battletoads and Double Dragon, boss tier, Battletoads, mid tier, and then Battletoads and Battle Maniacs, goon tier.
Yeah.
And I think I was just enamored of the symmetry. And it's true that that's how they sort. But they sort it even as Greg was leaving, after the show, we were walking down, I was Battletoads sucks too much to be mid-tier.
Yeah,
Battletoads, like, don't be fooled by the fact that the first level and the second level are both excellent, and that the third level taunts you for just a moment.
But yeah, it is like you said. That's how they slot. But it's like one is here, and then there's a big drop down.
Big drop.
To 2.
Big drop. So yeah, so we're moving Battletoads to the Goon tier.
Yeah.
That might be controversial, but
I don't see why. I think it's mostly
it's
just
it's a nostalgia. And it's a hype thing.
Yeah.
And it's because people haven't taken the time to play Battletoads and Double Dragon and be like, oh wait,
yeah,
all the things that I want Battletoads to be great because of are also present in a game that is just great.
Yeah, that is also
it doesn't
good.
have all this garbage that makes the game less fun.
All right. So, with that, we've moved that over to our Goon tier. So let's jump over that.
I haven't moved it yet.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will soon. But yeah, all of the main series Golden Axe games.
The main series Golden Axe games.
Right.
Fine. Yeah. Some of them have quite a visual
Same deal. Yeah. Yeah. Visual spectacle and
I remember us being
cool aesthetics.
I remember us being really fascinated by their how much they get out of such a limited range of movement. That like an axe swing is literally just 2 frames.
Yeah.
But
yep. Lots of good stuff like that. The entire Capcom CPU arcade system.
So many.
They're all just they're all neat.
Yeah.
Because none of them are phoned in.
Mm-hmm.
They're all just pretty good. Just wish there was more going on in the gameplay. And then the Goon tier right now.
Which is the dregs.
Yeah. We don't have many. Hold
No.
on though. Whoops. Wrong page. Actually, now that I'm on this page, I'll just look. Okay. Battletoads joins its successor.
Yeah.
Although it must be said, don't be fooled, this is not a ranked list.
Mm-mm.
Battletoads is a significantly better game than Battletoads and Battlemaniacs.
Yeah. That really was like somebody saying, let's just embrace our worst impulses.
Yeah, and when we were kids, it was easy to be bamboozled by Battletoads because it really just does have a great first couple levels, great aesthetics, great music. The whole thing feels really compelling and cool. And then the speeder bike starts out feeling like a thing that fits. And then it just gets so unreasonably hard you can never see the end of the level.
And the thing about Battletoads 2, the original, is that I think it takes on that 1991, we're talking a period where there was a lot of schoolyard urban legends. And I really do feel like that is a game that maybe a lot of the hype is just from hearing other people be like, oh yeah, I beat the speeder level. And after that, the game gets really good.
I never heard anybody claim that, but I didn't know anybody when I was a kid who was better than me in video games, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
My friend had a Game Genie, and I've in the week since we really got into this discussion, I unlocked the memory of the afternoon that we just went through every level in Battletoads using the Game Genie, and realizing that kind of it was just the experience of being disappointed repeatedly because we used the codes for every one. We never said okay, let's beat this level. Let's play that one again and get better at it. Okay, what's the next one? And it was and I remember thinking oh wow, there's so many different things.
Yeah.
But also just skipping them all.
Do they ever go back to being a beat 'em up?
Yeah, and it occasionally.
Yeah.
I don't know that I was thinking about that in particular at the time, but yeah. It's a shame because it really could have been great if they had just stuck with the good idea they had.
Mm-hmm.
In a very similar and yet different, in this essay, I will argue. But a similar yet different vein, not ranked yet, are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. Last time, we re-experienced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game.
Yes.
And so, game-wise, we've proposed to ourselves that we play the home versions.
Yeah.
Did we already play the home version of... Yeah, we played the home version of 1 last time.
We played the home version of the original, yeah.
Yeah. So let's play the home version of Manhattan Project. And then, depending on time, because it's one of our lost episodes, the Super Nintendo version might be worth doing too.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll see what time is doing because we want to get through this sorting.
We do, yes.
But before, actually, hold on. Is there anything obvious of what's left that we can sort right now, Greg?
Did we do Warriors of Fate?
I think we might have missed Warriors of Fate. Let's check.
Yeah, that's another CP. I mean, that can just go right in mid tier.
Yeah. Hold on a sec.
Warriors of Fate, another Capcom CPU game. It looks like we played it after Ninja Turtles for some reason. I guess we maybe missed it in the first run as well.
Or we hadn't declared. Oh, we do have Warriors.
Oh, we do. We do have it slotted.
Yeah,
okay.
we got it.
Let's see. Let's scroll through the list again. See what we got.
Okay.
Let's see.
Some of this.
Well, I would say so. Super Double Dragon is the SNES
Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yes, that one introduced. Thank you, British.
Hail British.
That introduced like some really unique gameplay elements into the Double Dragon universe. That's the one that was not made.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't the outsourced. What was the outsourced one?
The outsourced one was Double Dragon 3.
Right.
The Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
Which is a really bad game.
But this Super Double Dragon I remember being interesting because, oddly, like a lot of the Double Dragon games, it introduced a lot of new gameplay features and then just did not continue them at all. They just introduced them and then dropped them in favor of new ones. They don't really.
Well, then the series was over basically as a beat 'em up series.
True, it didn't come back until 2005 or 6. When did the
Neon would have been in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Has the insufferable ironic 80s.
Yeah. So where would you slot Double Dragon, Super Double Dragon? Like,
ooh, that's a tough one. I'm not ready to.
Not ready.
I gotta chew on that.
Okay.
It's another one that and they literally just weren't given the time.
No.
So it doesn't have between the level cutscenes, which isn't that big a deal, but there's not that much. There aren't that many new enemy types after the first level.
I remember us having a lot of fun with it, though.
But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. There was a lot of little details too. I remember the punching bags. You can knock them off.
Yeah, good details and okay, you know what? Boss tier.
Boss tier. Yeah.
I'm sold.
I'd agree with that.
I'm sold. Okay. I gotta I gotta change one thing about this for next time because I gotta keep clicking back to the raw to see the numbers, which are how I enter them into tiers.
Right.
Super Double Dragon 30.
All right.
Okay.
And then
that's a good one to knock off.
Keep going down.
And
We've got the Comba Tribes.
Oh, you know what?
I think Alien Storm. Oh wait, where's Are we missing things on this list?
We might be.
I think we are. Because I don't see Final Fight the original on here, just Final Fight 2.
No, Final Fight the original was on here. We've already ranked it.
Oh, right. It was a CPU game.
It's just one of the CP arcade system games.
Yes. Alien Storm I'd put in mid-tier. That's pretty simple.
Yep.
Interesting. I like the shooting segments that get added into it.
Yeah.
But, it's
all right.
It's just all right. And then...
hold on a second. We aren't displaying everything here, but I think we can just by...
Yeah, there it is.
There's what's missing.
Well, you can drop one of those off there because that's not going to be...
shouldn't appear here.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there at all.
There we go.
All right.
Perfect.
Back up.
There.
All right.
Okay.
Good use of kerning there, James.
Alien Storm, easy to place. That was 32. Final Fight 2, mid-tier. It was all right. It's just...
Yeah, I think it's superior to Final Fight 1.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I'd put it in mid.
Whoops.
Speaking of, I don't think Bio Billy gets put in mid. I think Bio Billy gets put in Goon. I think Mad City
Oh.
gets put in mid.
Bayou Billy is goon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the story here is that Mad City and the Adventures of Bayou Billy are the same game.
Essentially. But
In a misguided effort to discourage the rental market, they made some significant changes to the difficulty. And not in a like, let's make a hard game that the kids can really like
and some level
sink their
design
teeth
too.
into.
Yeah.
No, because they did it by not only just like turning up all the aggressiveness, speed of enemies, and all of their hit point sliders.
Yeah.
Like just increasing all those values arbitrarily.
Yes.
But then they also just like chopped up the sequencing of enemies in a really like in ways that don't make sense, and in just ways that are bad. Just like it's not fun to fight these particular enemies just in an endless row. And then in the first level of Mad City / Bayou Billy, there are alligators.
Yep.
In the bayou, or maybe they're crocodiles. I wouldn't know. Alligators, I bet though.
Alligators are in the bayou.
Yeah, and in Mad City, they're enemies that you try to avoid. It's not that you can kick them to death, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
And you don't need to because there's wildlife. But in the game, the scrolling actually stops, like as if you had encountered some thugs who are like sent to kill you, so you need to get them out of the way, or you can't go about your business of your life. Really, really poor choice.
Yeah, we played both. But I will also say, everywhere you look at these two games, they always say they really boosted up the difficulty and they did a major graphical overhaul. And having played both, I'm not really seeing the major graphical.
I didn't see anything. Yeah.
I really thought, because I did think the artwork in this game for the era, 1988 on the NES, I thought the artwork, like the banyan trees and the swamp, I thought it was beautiful. And I was like, wow, they really put some polish into it, I guess. Then we played Mad City and was surprised to find that they didn't retool it to set it in the bayou. Mad City also just set in the bayou.
Yeah. They wanted to make a Louisiana-based character. Like, I think they started from Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, it's another kind of place where a guy like this could come from.
Because we can't put him in the outback for some reason. So let's figure it out. Okay.
Streets of Rage 2 is absolutely boss tier.
Streets, I would, 100%. I'd argue Streets of Rage is as well. Do you have a solid argument for putting Streets of Rage in mid?
No, I'd accept Streets of Rage in boss tier. It's an excellent game.
Yeah.
I think that Streets of Rage will be lower boss tier, and Streets of Rage 2 will be high boss tier.
I think 2 is the superior game. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, you know what?
I'd be fine with putting it in mid.
Yeah, it's mid. It's mid because of just like a lack of polish, like shit like those really, really frustrating boss.
Oh yes, the ones that come in at the
and
right
they come
at the,
back
right
when
at the
you
end.
have your like. It's a cool touch that you have your cop like artillery support disabled, but it also kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. If you want to put them in mid, do so. And then we've got
Splatterhouse 3. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's play some video games.
Let's play some video games, and then we'll come back.
We got a good amount of clerical work done.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll come back and we'll tackle some more on this list.
Excellent.
Right after this video game break.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's stream some gameplay on Twitch.
Holy.
All right. So, we're going back.
All the way back.
Man, I do a lot of tiny dives into classic games.
Mm-hmm. 2 up.
There we go.
So we're going to jump back into, as we said at the top of the show,
playing current games. I'm not an old fogey. Stuck in his ways, unable to appreciate the stuff the kids like. Well, I mean, actually, there's a lot of stuff the kids like I don't appreciate.
That's true.
I've never played Fortnite, and it doesn't really interest me, like that kind of thing. But that was true when I was young. Like like Team Fortress. Like, okay, fine, Jake. Like, I'm here now, and like all you want to do is play Team Fortress, so we can take turns. Not a great rendition of the Ninja Turtles song. Okay, so we're going to the NES only, no arcade equivalent to the Manhattan Project.
Mm-hmm.
This is a terrific game.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So the plot is that 4 turtles are turned into anthropomorphic ninjas by the ooze that spilled into the sewer.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff.
They really went back to they're like, no, we're not giving away any of the plot. You can play the game if you want to earn the plot. Is it A mode? No, B mode is friendly fire on.
I think. Yeah.
I think so. Well, whatever B mode is, it's what we're playing on.
What we're playing, okay.
And we'll live with the consequences.
Okay, I am in. I will be Donatello, as is my norm while playing the Turtles.
Hold on. This controller's
What's
pissing
going
me
on?
off. Oh, there it goes. Okay. It was just sticking one of the D-pads.
Oh,
I never
no.
had any problems with these. I will start with Mike.
Mike Angelo. The Turtles are enjoying their vacation on a beach in Florida. Florida, when suddenly... You do this.
Come on! April's reports are just about to start.
Here in New York, crime is escalating every day.
Gee, what happened? I'm doing Raphael, of course.
Bummer! Oh,
Bummer, dudes. It's Shredder.
his mouth was moving, though.
Yeah.
You can just imagine Shredder being like, "Bummer, dudes."
Bummer for you, dudes.
Turtles, I am taking April along with Manhattan Island. If you want them back, come and get them.
Step aside, James Avery. You've been erased from history.
Taking Manhattan Island. Just like the Dutch did.
Okay, got it. I had to... The buttons are mapped in this collection to Super Nintendo controls. Like you're jumping with B and attacking with Y.
Here we go.
Ah! Oh yes, this is the game where there's 2 moves. And using the like hold down while attacking move is like a real killer.
Oh yeah, the hold down while attacking move.
Oh, but do we get fewer points?
Unclear.
I don't know. I think so. But I'm not positive because there's too many different variables, like color of dude.
Ooh.
No, okay. Same number of points. So yeah, this is a game as we later came to realize, because one of the downsides of not doing a purely chronological survey is that sometimes you can miss or you only get to see the influences retroactively.
Yeah.
But Ninja Turtles arcade gameplay and downstream of it, The Simpsons, has its roots in Bayou Billy or Mad City. Like the enemies only go down once, and that's to die. And they don't really they don't really stun. They react to being hit, but it's not the same kind of like that you expect to get in a game.
Oh, they throw sand
It's
in
more
your
like
eyes.
they bounce back a little bit, and maybe you can get another attack in, but it wasn't just like given to you because you started a combo.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different feel, and it's much more polished than Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, incredibly.
Like, one of the things about Mad City is that if it had ripped, like, some of the ways in which it innovates, if it had just ripped off Double Dragon a little bit more, it would be a great game. Oh!
What was that springboard movie?
That was, I believe, did I lose hit points when I did that? I think I did. But I pressed A and B at the same time.
I've not been able to do that yet.
Wait, I didn't. Yes, if I hit someone with that kick, I lose a hit point. But I look cool as hell.
Yeah. Key West. Flow Rider. These guys are always the ones that get me. I do very poorly against people with ranged attacks.
Well, I mean, they've got it, we don't have it. Gives them a distinct advantage.
That's very cool. So many good things.
Yeah, and I love the quest aspect of the Ninja Turtles being on vacation from the last game.
Yeah.
And needing to fight their way back from Florida to Manhattan. If you hadn't noticed, we're not in a New York City environment at all.
No, if the sign didn't give it away.
There was no garbage on that beach.
And now we're gonna surf.
Oh.
Oop, nope, we're not surfing yet. Gotta get to the end of this oddly shaped pier.
Be careful. You'll be wondering who turned out the lights.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. This odd S-shaped tier.
Whatever. We live in a city with a big, long, weird boardwalk.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Kind of goes out sometimes and then comes back in for no reason. I hit that guy's boomerang right back at him, but it just prompted him to immediately take another boomerang throw.
Yeah, as it would. I mean, he was.
Ah! You
Hey!
having fun yet? Okay. Jeez. This is tense. Because I think in an ideal run, you want to clear this level without losing a life.
There it goes.
I like you can change your turtle after every life.
Yep.
It's a good touch. Recognizing that people like to play as the different turtles.
And recognizing that each turtle has its own appeal.
Well, I think that's the same thing. People like to play as the different turtles because each turtle has its own appeal.
Well, yeah, but if they didn't, then you wouldn't want to play as them.
Yes. Yeah, this is not the original non-beat-em-up NES game of the Ninja Turtles, where you never want to play as Raphael unless it's just a spot where you know you're going to get hit a lot.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'd rather lose.
Ooh. Speared me. Damn.
Well, I'm going to let
Damn.
Raph do a lot of the fighting in the hopes. No, never mind.
He just kept coming. He just kept.
Yeah?
Damn.
He's rock steady, man.
But I mean, like.
He's not called inconsistent pace.
There, do we have him flashing? Oh, yes, there he goes.
Now he's flashing. Oh, no! Make no mistake when he's flashing. You could throw on your 3D goggles, your 3D glasses, your blue and reds. Feel like he was popping right into the TV.
There he goes. He saw it now. Come on.
Okay, don't you get in trouble here. Alright, boom!
All right.
Well, we just lost a single life, but that's probably not a terrible pace.
And now we do the surfing segment, which is always good.
These segments are great because there's no difference between them and the rest of the game. And it's such a good job of just using presentation
Yeah.
to be like, all right, now we're doing the okay. Surfing controls are literally identical. We move slower.
But yeah, when you jump, the surfboard
and
follows
like, our
you.
legs don't move when we move. But it's the exact same gameplay. But it's like, it's really well done. Like, I'm not criticizing the game when I say that this is just using smoke and mirrors to make us think that we're playing a
What
different
the heck is going on with this
mode
guy? There we
something.
go.
You just had your number. Oof.
Yeah, you really
As
did.
did those guys mine. Tremendous soundtrack, which you would expect, because it's a Konami game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I love the synchronized opposite of diving, cresting. It's a shame that humans don't have extraordinary swimming speeds that would allow that to be an Olympic event. Like you crest up and then you gotta do like a flip or something before you get back in.
Do you know what's going to be an Olympic event at the Olympics this year?
What?
Breakdancing.
that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way about figure skating. Not because I object to people being figure skaters or I think it's not a real sport. But it's not a real sport because it's...
I'm just not saying it in that dumb voice I said a second ago.
But like, not like they're not real athletes. They're real athletes, but they're like performance athletes. And
Yeah.
they're like competing to have the best performance. Not
Do you feel
to...
the same way about gymnastics?
It's touchier with gymnastics. I kind of feel that way about floor routine for kind of the same reason, but not for just like, you know, like handspring. It's like, okay, you're like performing a technical skill and then being rated on the quality of your performance and like how many turns you do.
Come on. Why do I always get rebuffed? Come on.
I don't know.
There we go.
This is not something I feel strongly about or have given a lot of thought to. So,
But I will express my opinion in full about it.
well, I express my vague inclination. I don't.
What is this, Staten Island? No, this is a ship.
We finally made it to Staten. No wait. No wait. Hold on. We're just off the coast of Florida.
Oh, come on. Ooh, burnt up. That's the other thing. This game.
Just full of nice little touches. There's a nice touch in this game.
Oh, you can't dangle.
You can't
now.
just hang off the submarine forever.
Man, alive. I am getting wrecked. There we go.
It's just, the game is just like its predecessor, sparing with the pizza. Like we're on stage 2, we haven't seen a single healing item.
A lot of games.
And like the fact that healing items exist at all makes this a kinder game than any Double Dragon. Except, well, no, it's not kind. The Double Dragon with Rosetta Stone would let you buy weapons and stuff.
Yeah. This is a safe zone. Come on! It was a safe zone. I just said it a second ago.
Yeah.
Why did it become untrue?
Made a liar of you.
Finally. At least somebody else has been struck. Damn it.
I've been struck a few times. It's really frustrating. Oh, sweet. I got an extra life.
Nice. I'm real close.
You are.
Is that not it?
It is. Like, if you had a pointy weapon, literally lifting a guy up by stabbing him in the belly and throwing him over your head would be an effective way to kill him. Even if he was a robot.
There it is.
There we go. It's a pleasing sound.
There we go.
A NES game 1-up sound.
Ah, the white guys. Nice. These guys are set up so you can't jump over the projectiles.
No, they recognize your jumping ability. They
Well,
come prepared.
This looks suspicious. Whoa!
Oh man, what's this guy's game? Okay, there it is. It's just you. You just gotta wait. Whoop. Ah. Okay, you can get tons of hits on him. You just gotta be real careful.
Yeah.
Ah. Or maybe I was hitting him. I can't tell.
I think you hit him once with that. Oh, damn. Did he kick me?
I think I hit you.
Oh. Well, I will be Leo for my...
Those had to be hits. But actually, I'm not sure that they did. Yeah, because it's making the damage sound. Is it something with the bow staff hitting him? Because it's a different color.
Oh. Damn it!
Oof. really good multi-stage boss fight. And they came up with a really good style for a beat-em-up boss fight. Like, the bosses have really classic, sort of like NES boss fight action patterns.
Damn.
That you learn. It's different from a lot of beat-em-ups.
Oh, he's flashing now. Get him.
Ah!
Oh, you got him with one.
I got him once.
Damn.
Ha! Bow staff for the win. Ah, I forgot to jump.
That'll do it. Nice.
Ha! Got him with the scoop and everything. Boom! Boom! Reverse pole vault.
Turtles Quest 7.
Vinsky. It's probably like our 7th Turtles Quest or more.
Yeah, at least. Push button.
Scene 3. Watch your step along the Bridge of Danger. It's an interesting level name. They didn't just go with Bridge of Danger.
Nope. Watch your step along the Bridge of Danger.
Yeah. But, like, there's nothing in the font to suggest, like, you know, watch your step along the ... Title font, Bridge of Danger. like in Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Have you played Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Greg?
I think, like, once or twice, like, long ago. Never, like, seriously.
It's an excellent game. Totally outside the scope of our project.
Mm-hmm. The introducer of these guys. I can't remember.
The big, like, stone dudes.
Yeah, they've got a name.
Are they official? Are they, like...
Yeah, they're official.
Okay.
They're like a class of soldier. They come from Dimension X.
Right. Of course they do.
Where Kang is from.
Oh.
Right. I don't think we're beating the truck. Jesus.
Ah. I thought that I had successfully avoided the grenades the second time there.
Dude, that guy scooped that guy right off the side of the bridge. Oh wait, no. That's the... We can land there safely. That's the
Yeah.
rebar.
Which is an interesting graphical touch. So many different types of foot soldiers.
Yeah.
And they all, like...
They all
there's-
offer
there's-
something slightly different.
Yep. It's a great way to make single button combat in a dynamic game. I don't post on Blue Sky, and like I haven't even set the 58 Dream Street Blue Sky profile up to be anything other than just like a blank profile name and know about information. But the journalist Parker Molloway was suddenly tweeting about picking up this collection and being like, is it just me or are these games like just not as fun as I remember them being when I was... And I wanted to jump in and be like, well, you see the progression mechanics of an arcade game, but like there's a lot of merit, I think, in the... like, I wanted to just share all my thoughts about Teenage Mutant Ninja, but I was like, what an alarmingly weird thing if she clicks over and she's like, oh, it's a blank profile. It's never posted. It's existed for months and it's never posted. And now it's just really, really intensely like talking to me about Ninja Turtles. Probably just think I'm an annoying, like I'm some guy who's trying to tell her how to enjoy the Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
just some that guy. Ah, Slash. With his...
So this guy is just like a bad Ninja Turtle.
He's just a bad Ninja Turtle, yeah?
It's funny when already so many of their enemies are just a different animal mutant that's bad. You're like, but this one specifically is just the same animal they already are, but bad.
Yeah. Sometimes he's like a bigger turtle. He's like a snapping turtle.
Yeah. Or slashing turtle.
Yeah, you know, classic slashing turtle.
That would be a horrible kind of turtle. Just slowly slashing at your face with its mighty claws.
I don't know if you know this. Snapping turtles are also a pretty terrible type of turtle.
Oh yeah.
You do not want to encounter one of those.
No, and I know that there's no actual comical slowness to their snapping movement.
Nope.
It's in fact quite snap.
Damn it. You get like 2 hits on him and that's it.
Yeah. This is not the last guy.
Can you damage him when he's in that state if you land like a dropkick on him?
I don't know. I feel like the way you get like
No.
you get
just landed one
unless
and I
you're
bounced
like
right off.
alarmingly good. This is a case where you need you need restraint. You gotta pick your shots, which is frustrating because it is more fun to be landing more hits. This is not Dark Souls.
Okay.
Oh, you can knock him out of the air.
Oh, you're Donnie right now. Okay. You can knock him out of the air?
Like when he jumps, yeah.
Nice.
It's got nothing to do with his like super shell, but yeah, like those. I'm gonna try to preserve his life while still without abandoning you.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, we've got him flashing.
All right. To a degree, I'm going to abandon. Now, slash is absolutely. There's no way that there's not some kind of 3D effect right now. If we just had some blue and reds.
He's really coming after you. I'm hitting him for all my life.
Yeah. All right. Now I am not to say abandoning you, but I'm gonna put my faith in you to get this done. Yes. All right. Very good.
That's where you need it. I like how they look at the camera. Oh, I think we gotta move on.
Oh yeah, he's just a
Hey,
mini boss.
pizzas!
Very good. A single slice. This is not a thing where like
A
slice
single
is
slice does the job for you.
Yeah, so there's no full pizza. Unless there's a full pizza that heals both. Which there actually might be, I can't remember. Every time we finish a boss and I take my thumbs away from the ready, I revert to wanting it to be A and B. And the first thing I always do is jump when I mean to hit somebody. Now this is no rebar there. This is not flicker disguising the rebar. Hello, Guided by Voices. This is originally for the Famicom or NES. This one never had an arcade equivalent. And yes, hello.
Yeah, this one in particular. Ooh, nice, took him down. Pop right back up from being squished though. I should get another life soon, I think.
Like 100,000, I think. Yeah, I think they come in increments of 50,000. These enemies come as close to being traditional. It's still not a traditional stun lock. They still just kind of get staggered a little and then keep coming.
Nice.
But, I was like, this guy's not going to hit me with his large rebar, and then without coming anywhere near me, he crouched down and, oops, did that to myself. And that was my kill on which I got my one up.
Nice.
So that was fun. Keeps me humble to be smashed with an anvil or a giant comical weight. Ha!
Yeah, nice. Whoa! The dagger's really slowed down the screen though.
The slowing down is perfect though. It's like the critical moment when the sky is filled with blades and your every moment counts. That's when your ninja instincts take over. I guess Bebop might be out of gas, but otherwise, like, he should not have got out of his vehicle here. Even though he's affixed to his scalp
Yeah!
a morning star or a ball and chain weapon. A retractable, like it's on a yo-yo. yo-yo ball kind of deal. Remember the yo-yo ball, Craig?
Yes, I remember the yo-yo ball.
For people who aren't good at yo-yo but want the rep for being a cool yo-yo person.
Ah, damn it. I really need to maintain. Get in there, James.
Yeah, I gotta put it on the line for you, buddy.
I got a lot of good hits on him when he was really focused on you for some reason. Damn it.
Okay, I gotta come back.
Really think about your decision of who you want to be, though.
Yeah, well, I... just felt
How
like
is he
it's-
not flashing? That felt close to a flash, but you were just hitting him
Felt
rapidly.
close. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, no.
Oh, game over. He didn't even hit me, he just
Like-
backed into me.
Oh, we don't get to use the continue until I get game over too?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think you can take him, though.
Ah, man. Except I was being super reckless on the assumption that we were at least somewhere as close to defeating this jerk. It's probably too late for this life for me to start being cautious. Oh. I don't like that Bebop has, like, damaged you from where he, like, contact.
Yeah,
Where he doesn't do a move.
I think all the bosses are like that.
I don't like it, though.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
fair.
would, even if they just gave him an animation, so it's like, well, if you come into his range, he automatically gets you with the back fist.
How is he not even flashing yet?
What a tedious
We've gotten
fight.
so many hits on him.
Okay. Ah.
Jeez
Okay.
Louise.
And him actually parking his truck there really makes this harder because the pattern.
There it is.
Okay, great. I have a whole life, so I'll get it. But jeez,
Yeah.
I should switch the mic.
There he is.
Oh god, it's gonna be painful if I don't get this.
It's a
Yeah.
nice truck.
It looks cool. I'll sell a toy to go with your Bebop and Rocksteady figures. And you can sell a whole new Bebop. Ah, damn it. I really have lost.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
he kicked me aside like a piece of trash. What a frustrating boss fight that is.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back at it. But oh man, that's really disappointing.
Back to my beloved Donnie. So we're starting. Okay, we're starting from the beginning here. So we'll have to fight Slash
Beginning of the
again.
Bridge of Danger. Yeah.
Watch out for the balls. They come first. Oh, nope.
No,
Some
they
ninja.
come when we're actually going along the. Oops, did not mean to use the take damage special attack.
Damn it! I jumped over one and right
Very
into
top
another.
of the Z axis just is not in line with them.
There we go. Right into the pit.
The pit, the bay.
There you go. Oh shit. Oh shit. I got hit by a car. Not what you want to happen.
It's a good thing that he uses one of these gas guzzlers, though, because he would be a very difficult boss to fight if he had not been forced to park his truck and get out and fight us with his stupid head. Excellent melody
Oh, the
for
song?
this bridge song.
Yes.
Yeah, and the bass line, by the way. Was really appreciating the melody this time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these games have some great music in them, famously. Do you
Yep.
think that's what do you think it is about the beat 'em up genre that leads to?
I don't think it is. I think it's because to date the beat 'em ups that we've played have been from like Konami or
Yeah.
companies that at that time were renowned for having stables of just awesome video game music composers that they did not credit in the credits at the end of the game. Well, maybe it just turns out that's our sign that this,
Yeah, I don't think we should play this forever.
we're not on a.
We have beaten this.
I don't think we did.
Well, we got to the final boss at least.
Yeah, we did very well, but no, I don't think we did. But this is not a winning run anymore. I gotta feel like a winning run beats Bebop
Yeah,
before continuing.
I would agree. But we got really far. We got to the final boss.
Yeah, we did. I think. I guess there's no. I can't remember if this is one of the ones that we have no record on the YouTube because I lost.
If we've got no record, then we beat the final
We
boss.
definitely.
James.
Well, it's too late. We've already admitted that part, but we certainly got there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Is those moments when he gets fixated. Okay. I've got to do my best to stay alive here. If we're gonna beat Bebop and preserve our honor.
Nope.
I like that. There's a real. It brings your ice hockey skills into play.
Yeah. Where you're tracking the puck.
Yeah, and that's like what Slash is doing. Like when he's winding up, it's not like he gets the same power every time. He's winding up to decide. Like, oh yeah, Blades of Steel, absolutely good call, got it, my voices. That's an excellent game. Oh really?
Damn, counted it.
Well, they got one thing. Like I understand why they can't do it in real hockey, but it's a way better mechanic. At least, especially in a video game, because hockey video games, not always, but like all simulation hockey games, even now, have fighting mechanics, right? Or at least fights happen automatically. Blades of Steel, of course, has the characters like square off in a little fighting mini game, and because this is a game. The person who loses the fight goes to the penalty box. You can't do that in real life. People just start like there'd be way too much fighting. They've tried, from what I understand, in recent decades to get away from the reputation of hockey. Sport for goons, like not low level mook kind of goons, but hockey goons.
Hockey goons.
And ultimately, I mean, hockey is the sport for hockey goons.
Yeah, where else would they go,
Yeah, come on.
James?
What are
If
these
not
goons
here,
supposed
where?
to do? Like,
Yep.
if they were ever going to be into football, they would be hooligans. It's a better mechanic for a game. Terrible, like, absolutely destructive to the sport.
Yes.
You can't do it. But if you were ever going to start an extreme hockey league, that would be the way to differentiate your badass league.
Do you know, James, there was a recent game where they sent literally everyone to the penalty?
Ha! I didn't hear about
And it
that.
got completely out of control. And they essentially just took a 5-minute break.
Just deduct 5 minutes from the clock. Did they actually make people sit?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Were they? Because did they get variable penalties? Some of them were coming back sooner.
I think at least some of them came back sooner than others. But it was literally the entire team. Both sides.
That's pretty zany.
Yep. Yeah, it just okay. Here we go. No, wait. We have to go through this this gauntlet of these guys.
The visual fake out of the beam guys being replaced by bazooka guys, or succeeded by bazooka guys.
Yeah, don't let these guys get far because
Yeah.
they'll bazooka you real good. They will hit with the bazookas as well.
So we're gonna play a lot more licensed Konami beat 'em ups increasingly less well known, like Bucky O'Hare.
I know Bucky O'Hare.
I know Bucky O'Hare, but did you know that there was an arcade beat 'em up of Bucky O'Hare?
I did, but mostly because we do this show.
Yeah, like you didn't know that. Like I'm a huge fan of the Bucky O'Hare NES game, so it's not like I'm not into obscure Bucky O'Hare titles, and I still didn't know. I wonder how often we're going to be pumping an endless amount of quarters in to a downstream of Bayou Billy licensed Konami game, the Asterisk game, the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs game. That actually might be Capcom. But how often we're going to be doing that and thinking, I wish this had a NES version so we could have a progression structure that was built around doing well at a game that was challenging us reasonably.
Okay, here comes
Beat Off.
What's the strategy with Bebop even?
I think it's,
I mean,
again, it's a strategy of great caution. And going in on when you're the one behind him.
Yeah, this is how we get him. This is how we got the most hits on him last time. I'll keep avoiding.
Okay, if he just stays aggroed on you like this for some reason.
This is a... Oh, don't die though.
Yeah, I gotta be very careful.
If he gets too close to me, I can't avoid... Yeah, there we go. There's a limit. Get behind him now. We've got some time on this side.
Oh, no. All right, but I can do that an unknown number of times, but it's actually a destructive thing for me to do because it puts me in front of him.
Damn. Got a lot of good hits on him now.
I decided to just pound out my remaining button presses. We're doing significantly better. We found the strategy. In fact.
We found the strat. Yeah.
This is a game. This is a boss fight to really rub it into the kid who's playing single player.
And
that his friend didn't want to come over.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's
His
picking
two
sides
best
now.
friends are hanging out without him, and he's here getting game over at Bebop because he cannot get behind him while he's aggroed on nobody.
Come on, get closer. Oh, pick a dude.
I think he's picked me. You got to get behind him.
Okay. He has, yeah.
Okay.
Got
so
it.
there we go.
That's
Child's
the strat.
play. So
That's the strat.
There it goes. In hindsight, kind of frustrating that we lost a full continue.
I gotta learn. And,
Yep, we
you know,
learned.
We're kids in the 90s. We
All
have
right.
all day to play this game. Steal the
Well, we
truck.
know, because as you can see, we needed a Zeppelin to get to the floating. Krang and Shredder have stolen Manhattan Island,
Yeah.
but they haven't taken it to Dimension X. It's just floating.
And they left Staten Island, the other boroughs behind.
This game was where I first became familiar with the phrase Manhattan Project. It was only many, many years later that I realized it was the nuclear weapons thing.
Was it nuclear weapons? Oh yeah, nuclear.
Yes.
I'm thinking of.
Or atomic weapons.
No, I'm thinking of the secret project. What's that? Something project.
I don't know.
It's like on an island in upstate New York. God, I can't even remember the name. I got it confused for a second with the far more recognizable Manhattan Project, though. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm not at all familiar with this secret project. They kept it a secret from me.
It's it gets roped into a lot of conspiracy theories because it's believed they were doing some sort of genetic research, and so people think any mutant or cryptid that shows up is a result of this, but it's probably just lies and nature being weird.
Yep.
There we go. I do like this destroyed Manhattan.
Yeah. No, this is an excellent game. And yeah, like we were saying earlier, starting the quest when they're on vacation so that there's a series of Florida levels at the start is a great touch, which on its own would have added freshness when you got back to the Manhattan, just standard beat 'em up city. We having fun yet? There is no Who Turned Out the Lights. That's only in the previous game. But then to go the extra step and be like, no, we remembered. This place is floating, and floating out of the ground would cause damage to the infrastructure.
Yeah, you also, I mean...
The sewer system still functions.
Yes. We also,
They've taken a fair bit of...
They took the whole island.
Yeah.
They didn't just, there's a big chunk of land underneath. Mostly the edges were the problem.
At the edges of the island, it should just be spewing sewage.
Yes.
Disgusting.
If anything, this is probably the driest Manhattan's ever been. Do you know how much... Oh, man. That was perfectly. Do you know how much water they pump out of Manhattan every day?
No.
It's a lot. Because basically, Manhattan, if suddenly we lost, power...
Yeah.
Would sink significantly.
It's actually just unnecessarily laborious, guided by voices, because it's breakaway glass that they had to install
Yes.
after they took over Manhattan. But then it's just a psychological advantage.
There we go. Yeah, Manhattan would sink significantly if they suddenly lost the ability to pump water out. That was also a major problem in the summer. Remember the floods they had in Manhattan?
Yeah.
That was because of excess rain. So that,
Yes.
that shows just how flood-prone Manhattan is.
Yeah.
Not that those weren't, unprecedented rains or anything, but also,
Yeah.
most cities, if it rained a lot, they wouldn't begin, massively flooding the streets. Subways and, drains, maybe, but not, just city streets. Just absolutely turned into rivers.
Mastering the art of meditating until you turn into a statue so that you could revert at the same time the two of your identical friends show up on foot is, once again, not necessarily counterproductive, but definitely needlessly laborious just to achieve a mild advantage. You need to be able to revert back from statue form much faster to get any element of surprise in it.
These guys are really good at avoiding. There we go.
Oh, man.
Oh, you're so close to a new life, too.
Well, I didn't game over.
Yeah, but it's always nice to have that be a high number.
Get it in advance. Hopefully we're not at a boss just now.
I don't... Well, there's at least one more statue.
Come on down, sucker. So I can hold both of... Nice touch. Hold both of my nunchakus together with the string towards you. Jam it into your solar plexus and toss you over my back.
Come on, okay. Oh, I just...
Ah!
Oh, no.
Oh,
no,
man.
both of them.
Shades of Mad World. Where the standard
there it is.
good points earning combo kill.
Can we destroy these?
Yes.
Yes.
Or at least we can hit them back at nothing.
Damn.
So it's an avoid them or smack them. You have options.
Oh, is this one of the vans that pulls out? No.
No, but once they've established that in your head,
they're all
they
suspicious,
can add a lot of to keep you watching the van in the background.
It's like that, it's like an older animation where there's that one bush that's a slightly different green than the others, and you're like, oh, something's gonna happen with that bush.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, even if they could leave some inert, and it would still be on edge the whole time. Mm-hmm. There really is just that they went above and beyond with different ways for foot soldiers to enter the battle.
Yep.
Which is obviously something that Shredders of Revenge picked up the ball and ran with. By virtue of having way more memory. Those Turtles Game Boy games, they're okay. They're not bad.
They're good, yeah.
They're certainly better than the NES game. They're much more similar to the original NES game, the side-scrolling action adventure.
There's a lot more platforming in them and a lot more... A bit more power-ups, as I recall, too, where you could pick up things like... Not quite to the Metroidvania level, but to the, you had,
permanent power-ups?
Like some levels would have you have like swing shots and shit. Like that.
Yeah. Well, there are like the shurikens and stuff in the original NES game.
Mm-hmm. Do you have are there pickup power-ups in any of these games? Oh, any of the beat 'em ups?
Power-ups in any ones we played so far? Not that I can think of.
You know, like how in many of these games you can pick up downed weapons and stuff. Obviously,
Yeah.
the Turtles have their signature weapons, so it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Look,
You know what? There's the pickup of the... No, are the pizzas that make us temporarily invincible just entirely a Shredder's Revenge thing? No, they're in Turtles in Time.
They're in Turtles in Time, yeah. They get that from... again, we talked about this while we were initially playing these games. We were replaying them for the show, so we might as well bring it up again. I don't know if you want to be down there, friend. Trains are coming.
But they're well communicated. Oh, actually...
Oh, it came on the other track, though. You're fine. But,
not an obstacle. Just another grandiose entrance for some regular goons.
The games that are... Oh, what's going on? Here comes the one.
Oh, hey. It's our old foe. Gopher Boy? Mole Face? Who's this guy?
He's the other half of...
Right, he's not Woodchuck. Groundhog? No. But something like that.
Ground Chuck was the other guy.
Ground Chuck is the other guy.
Is the other guy, yeah.
And he's
something that could also be a name for a groundhog, is the issue with him. It's like Ground Chuck and something. They recently featured both these guys in the comics, actually.
Huh.
But they were a terrifying amalgamation of the two, where like their bodies had been stitched together by an evil scientist.
Oh no.
Yeah, which I thought was a great way to be like...
down to him on the Z-axis there when he had his pick stuck. But otherwise, yeah. Okay. Really, the boss strategy is just the non-target player to hit them in the back.
Some of them are more switchy than others, though.
Yes. And also, obviously, whenever they just stick themselves in a trap.
Yeah, that was the strategy with Ground Chuck. Just wait till he runs into the wall. We are doing better against this guy. Here we go, here we go. Damn. So, sorry, we talked about this when we were playing the games initially, but Turtles in Time is by far regarded as the best of these. And
I think this is the best of these.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it is by far the most remembered.
Yep.
And it certainly did a lot for just the genre of beat 'em up.
Well, I don't know. Like, it's gonna take us a while to get there, but we're gonna chart the rapid decline of the beat 'em up in the mid-90s as phase 3. So I don't know how much you can say that anything did anything for the genre.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
genre just died and then came back much later.
Oh, I thought that was him flashing. He's taking a lot of hits, I'll give him that.
I keep tooling around and then picking Mike.
He's just your boy. There's no shame in that.
Nope.
Get him.
I'm a party dude. Or I was when I was young. Now I'd prefer if we didn't have to party, thanks.
How is he not flashing yet? Oh, we only did one shot that time. Did we interrupt it?
I think he can interrupt it if he suddenly decides he wants to refocus. But that actually might not be the case, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
He's got a single pick attack, yeah. And it's only the one where he really works up to it.
Yeah, there it is. Now he's flashing.
There you go, flashy boy. So,
damn it.
I don't think there is actually a... Oh, he's solid now. I think that just the flashing constantly gets stuck on either on or off in the way it's displaying. I don't know if that's emulation or how the game was experienced by us at the time.
There it is.
Oh, alright. Well, hey. We didn't get game over. It's 8:34.
Yeah, let's get back to the ranking, I think, or else we're not going to have time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's pause, because perhaps we just want to resume.
I think we should resume,
We're
yeah.
going underground, dudes. This dangerous sewer leads to the Technodrome. And it's a very dangerous sewer, because again, it is hanging off
A floating Manhattan.
floating Manhattan. Okay.
All right, scroll to the top, James. Let's get everything that we haven't done.
Well, yeah, and we're going to have to do that with our brains. That's another thing I didn't think to program in. Any indication that it's been assigned. I could have used conditional formatting and had them turn like gray.
Well, here we go. Nekketsu Fighting Legend.
Yeah, so Nekketsu Fighting Legend, the thing is that... Yeah, it's all we have.
That's all we got.
I'd much rather rely on conditional formatting, but I didn't set any up.
Hey! The emoji war
All right, we're
continues.
making up ground on Rich. Rich is the odd person out in the emoji wars this week. Okay. Nekketsu Fighting Legend, so the thing is that, like, it's not a quest.
No.
It is a fight. The fights are very much, like, beat-em-up fights. It's not like...
Yeah.
Like, we didn't count Map Mania, even though Map Mania is obviously relevant to the beat-em-up in its development.
Yeah.
But it's wrestling, and you win by pinning the guy, and there's no health. There is health.
But it's invisible health.
No, it's visible.
Your health in Map Mania?
No. You don't have health in Map... Like, you can't get just, like, beaten to a referee stoppage.
Yeah.
You have to be pinned. You have a bar... Like, there is maybe some, like, health equivalent.
Yes.
But it just determines how pinnable you are and how sluggishly you get up.
Yes, and by invisible, I mean it's not a bar that is present on the screen. We cannot
But
see it.
but what I was saying has visible health is Fighting Legend.
Yes.
Like, it is that kind of fight, even though, yeah, you're in a fighting tournament. It's just about winning this one fight between two guys. I'm inclined to count it.
Or is it just a very early entry in fighting games?
It's not a fighting game, though.
What separates the two?
Everything about the gameplay, like, beyond that you're on a Z-axis, like, the stun locking, like, it is River City Ransom and Downtown Special. It is not like two-player Street Fighter.
No, and it is a it's also more than one opponent at a time, which I think is also important, right?
Yeah. Well, it's always 2-on-2.
Yes.
So let's come back. We'll come back to it. We'll save that for our last decision.
Dynasty Wars, Final Fight, The King of Dragons.
We've done all the Capcom ones because they're all mid. Ninja Turtles. Okay.
Ninja Turtles, the original for the arcade and the NES. Oh God, I'm tempted to put all of these in boss tier because I do think they are important games. I do think some belong in mid.
Oh wait, I clicked over to get the number and didn't even
do anything about it.
17 is the first one.
Okay.
Rest.
I do think some do go to mid. I think the easiest to slot into mid is Turtles in Time for the arcade.
Turtles in Time arcade and Hyperstone Heist, I think, are pretty mid. Like, Hyperstone Heist was a lot of fun.
Hyperstone Heist was a lot of
fun.
But
it is just, like, it's a lot shorter and simpler, and we definitely beat that, and it wasn't hard. We were just done.
Yeah. So. And the thing about Turtles in Time is that the version that everyone remembers and loves and, like, emulates when they make retro beat 'em ups is the Super Nintendo version. The arcade version is it's good. It's gorgeous. It looks good. The animations are great.
But the animations aren't like there's more personality and more wacky, like, time period appropriate, like, animation gimmicks with the characters in the Super Nintendo one than the arcade. Like, the arcade feels like they ran out of time.
Yes.
Ironically. And then there's the weird thing that is really, I think, a flaw in both games, that it takes forever to get to the fireworks factory. Like, there's a whole standard Ninja Turtles beat 'em up, like, an above ground level, some sewer levels, a driving level, the techno, like, you do the whole quest.
Yeah.
Instead of just, like, the game starting in media res with that final fight at the Technodrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like eventually you get turtles in time, but it takes a while. Okay, but I'm sold on boss tier for. Well, do you think are the rest of them all boss tier?
I think the Manhattan Project and Turtles in Time are for sure.
Yeah.
The other one that I think is more of a debate is the original. Just because, like, it's a good game. Like, even the worst Turtles game is not Mook tier.
No
No
Goon tier.
Goon tier. But these ones are just so clearly. I suppose it's an issue of kind of like the
it's
reverse.
too late now, but boss tier, Goon tier, Mook tier.
Yeah.
It's too late. We've committed.
There's a certain similarity for Battletoads, but in the opposite direction of like there is a step like these two I think are better than the original one. The question is it enough of a step down to put it into mid tier, or is it like like Battletoads where there's a significant step?
Yeah. I'm let's put it in boss tier for now.
Okay.
When we come back to this oops.
Yeah.
There. When we come back to this much later in time to start doing rankings, well then
we can decide, hey,
we might discover like, oh, you know what? Or it just might be the lowest boss tier. But like we're not bound if we wind up looking at the game at the top of mid tier and the game at the bottom of boss tier.
We're
not like, oh no, sorry, earlier we
made a hard decision that we can never change.
Yeah.
We did Battletoads. We did all the Golden Axes.
Yep. Combat Tribes. We never we probably ought to at some point in phase 2 check out the Super Nintendo version to see if it's significantly different as an experience.
Yeah, we never did do that. We should, yeah.
But for now, it was Combat Tribes is I'd put it in mid tier. Like
put it in mid.
It's high mid tier for sure, but okay.
And like we joke frequently that like, oh, they needed to hit this hot this hot new media. They
had to farm out their core franchise Double Dragon. Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone, developed by a different developer, so that they could work on the Combat Tribes.
But
it's cool.
I think it's good.
It's really neat.
If there were more Combat Tribes, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I think the We Are the Combat Tribes at the end.
The reveal at the end.
Stupid. Yeah. Not sure what they were going for there. It doesn't make any sense.
3 guys taking on themed gangs.
Mm-hmm.
Why are the 3 guys the Combat Tribes?
Yeah. Why aren't there different themed gangs?
Why aren't they fighting the Combat Tribes? I don't think you understand your own term that you came up with here. Okay. We put Alien Storm in mid because it's mid. Mid. Oh, it hurts to say it, but obviously Shodai Nekketsu Koa Kunio-kan is Goon tier.
It is. It is.
It is. It simply is. It's the only one in its series that we haven't put in boss tier.
It's just the progression is so, and is not only like bad because of the weird random encounter concept they introduced.
Yeah. No, the random encounter concept isn't bad.
The concept
is
the execution.
Leave.
Yeah.
And it's the encounter rate. It's the encounter rate and the fact that you can't run away.
But also just...
And that's something that already exists in the NES games.
Advancing the game is so esoteric, where it's like, I'm not sure... Like, sometimes they're giving us clues. And if you pay close enough attention, you can figure it out, like, okay, we need to go back to the hotel. Because they said... Yeah. Somebody said we should think about this in the hotel. So clearly they're signaling us to go back to the hotel. Let's just go in all the rooms at the hotel because we don't know what room we're supposed to go to necessarily. But then sometimes it's like, oh, well, you got to talk to the cop first and then go across town to the bridge and only then can you go back and get through the boss. And it's like, how is anyone supposed to know any of this besides just doing everything over and over again like a pig thinking you get a reward if you back into a thing. It's all just superstition at that point.
And the really frustrating part is that the underlying concept of let's take the presentation and kind of feel and kind of the fighting style of the original.
Yeah. The Renegade.
The Shodai Nekketsu Kokuryukan Renegade style of fighting and the graphical style and the presentation, the more realistic style, and let's combine that with the beat 'em up RPG flavor of Downtown Nekketsu Story or River City Ransom.
Yes.
But with more narrative because we can support more narrative with the Super Nintendo.
More cut
That's
screens.
a brilliant idea. That should be a boss tier game. And the things that would make it better is the combat itself would be more fun if it was just Renegade.
Even the story itself is good. Like, even the story itself is
good enough.
A lot deeper than pretty much any game on this list.
Yeah, in terms of like a narrative that you're advancing.
That you're playing through, yeah.
Like, some of these games have between level cutscenes, but they're all just like, hey, look, it's the forest of death. We have no choice but to go on.
Yeah.
But although, oh man, Double Dragon 2 does have the moment of grasp as the helicopter takes off. But yeah, it's more of a narrative, and it's a fine enough narrative for a game of beating up high school students, beating each other up, or junior high school students. And to make the fighting better, all that you needed to do was look at your own game.
Yes. The
original Nekketsu Kohakuniokan. And then for how to make like the character progression better, all you have to do is look at your own games on the Nintendo, and how to make the random encounters and the like moving around work. They should have done the Kunio's period drama. They should have just repeated that. That there's a map and there are gangs who are active, and sometimes they're present in a place and sometimes they're not. And if they're there, you got to fight them. And like it'd be fun if like you could bump into a random passerby and then a fight would break out. Yeah. That could be a fun thing that you had to do right then. That could lock you in. Because this is a serious fight. This person will follow you. But that's not what it is. Instead, it's just everyone in Osaka will attack Riki and Kunio
once you're dead.
Just at random, all the time. All the time.
All the time. And it's so nerve-wracking because as soon as a fight starts, you can't cancel it. You can't back out of a fight.
Yeah, and it's like
and you're just you know you're close to the edge of the screen. And you just want to transition to the next one, or you're waiting for the train, and you know you're gonna miss the train if you're in the middle of a fight.
And it's just like, girl, let me love you, like I want to.
Yeah.
Like I wanted for years to finally play this game, and I was so excited, and it was such a letdown.
Yeah.
And we tried. Like, we literally had a day where we were like, we're giving up. And then we had a breakthrough, made a little progress at the end. And we're like, all right, we're seeing it through. And then the next week we gave up because just like every step was just like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
To get this goddamn game. And oh, man. Yeah, real letdown.
Goon.
And, it shouldn't have to be that way. Eventually, not in phase 2, but eventually we'll get to experience the last classic era Kunio-kun. The other Super Famicom Kunio-kun beat 'em up, which is available now for purchase as River City Girls 0.
Yeah.
Because it is the first game in the series that lets you play as the girlfriends.
Yes.
But only in some parts, from what I understand. It's a narrative that'll jump back and forth between the girls doing their part and Riki and Kunio doing their false imprisonment jailbreak story.
It also really showcases how big of a fan the creators of the River City Girls games were.
Yeah.
To the fact that this game was previously unreleased in English, and yet they based a large percentage of their plot on it. Of all the Kunio-kun games, they're like, this is the one we think that is narratively rich enough for us to do a true sequel to.
All right. We already put Streets of Rage 2 in Boston. Oh, yeah.
Yes, we did.
Of course we did. Simpsons and X-Men.
Simpsons, I think, is boss tier. I think Simpsons is one of the better arcade games we've played.
I think absolutely. It's a ton of fun. It is like the fighting is good in the
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Turtle style, and
And to go back to what
not
we said,
as varied with the enemies, but pretty varied, especially when there's the one random dream sequence level.
yes,
And just like they really went for it.
yeah,
Not
a
only
lot
with the
of
Simpsons
like
license,
original,
but they went for it with the Simpsons license, and then they were also just like, by the way, like here are some thoughts we had about what like, and also, have you read the comic strip Life in Hell?
yeah.
If you're a fan of the Simpsons, you might be interested to know. Like, yeah, it's good.
And
I think X-Men is mid tier.
Yeah.
Because it's just the spectacle.
It
Otherwise, you're just dropping in your quarters and going left or right.
Yeah.
And just back.
I'd agree with that. I think it's fun.
It is.
I think it's
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Every single one of the games in mid tier is
it's
fun.
fun. Yeah.
This is not,
We're not
mid in the sense that the young people say it.
Yes, it's the middle.
Where mid implies mediocrity. Yeah. It's just the games that are good.
Yeah.
The games that are there in the middle.
Yeah. And I agree.
Bosses to the left of me, goons to the right.
And I'd agree with you in terms of like it's mostly about the spectacle. Part of the spectacle is too. It's the experience of feeling like the X-Men.
Yeah.
Of using Cyclops' optic blast, of teleporting around as Nightcrawler, and like to capture that in this era of video game when you are sort of limited in mechanics. They did a great job, I think.
We're very close, I think, to completing our rankings, Greg.
Yeah.
Splatterhouse 3.
So this is an interesting one because the first two games in this series are sort of action-adventure proto beat-em-ups. Like, they certainly incorporate some beat-em-up elements, but they are not... They don't have the Z-axis. They don't...
Yeah,
They don't really... You can't really engage multiple enemies at the same time.
We don't need to get into it here, especially
this is
people
a
can't
debate.
even see, but I disagree with Greg that there is beat-em-up DNA in the first games. I think that they are just... They're brawlers, or they're just side-scrolling action. But that's not important here.
Brawlers is just another name for beat 'em ups.
Actively
It's
showing
just what they call them in the UK.
No.
Splatterhouse 3, on the other hand,
anyway,
introduces the elements that are crucial to a beat 'em up, which is what I was about to say. James, you don't have to jump down and be like, no, but I was right. I'm getting to the point where you're right.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Which is, it has the Z-axis. You can engage multiple enemies at the same time. And I think it's a really fun game. I struggle on whether or not it's boss tier or just the
It's definitely not boss tier.
Yeah, I think it's not. Well, it's not going in Goon, so I guess the only option is mid.
So I think it is mid tier.
Yeah,
it's disappointing because the idea of having different outcomes based on your performance is so cool.
Oh yes,
but it's based on an absurdly strict time limit.
Yes,
that like it opens up. It presents the idea that you get to explore, but if you actually want to get the good ending, you have to basically do a speed run through an optimized path.
Well, I think
stupid. Like,
I think part of that though
you gave us a place to explore. Have our success be based on like finding the secret area and beating the secret boss or getting the item or.
Well, I think part of it is, James, that they games of this era, they are expecting a lot of replayability. So I think the idea was that you take your first few playthroughs to explore, to find the optimized path.
Yeah.
And then you do that after having played the game many, many times.
That's just not as good as playing the game a bunch of times to find the secrets or to get good enough to beat the really hard alternate boss.
I agree.
So like it's frustrating because some of these mid-tier games and also actually some of the Goon tier games. Like Double Dragon 3, not really, because that's just like, it just makes you angry because you're like, look how they massacred my boy.
Yes.
Terrible Godfather. Or whoever says that. Battletoads and Battle Maniacs. Like, that's... The original Battletoads is enraging because it should be better.
Yeah.
The Battletoads and Battle Maniacs is more like, they're like rubbing your face in the fact that they refuse to make it good.
Yeah. We heard what you said, and we've ignored all of it.
But Shodan Nekketsu Koa Kunio-kun should be boss tier, and it's stupid that they didn't get there. And then there's a handful of mid games that could have been boss tier.
Yes,
With
agreed.
just some mildly different choices.
And there's some in mid tier here where I think eventually it is boss tier. Like we've got Final Fight in here. We've got.
No, I think that it's entirely possible for very good, well-remembered classic games to also just be pretty good.
Well, no, what I'm saying is we've got games here that did learn and grow. Like we put Streets of Rage in mid tier, but Streets of Rage 2 in boss tier.
Yeah.
Like they took what they had originally, they found what worked, and they expanded on it and just fine-tuned it. And it feels like you say, Battletoads could have done that. And it feels almost like they did to a degree.
They did.
In
two different.
In Double Dragon.
I think it must be two different development teams.
It had to be because they came up very close to each other.
Very close to each other, and it's absolutely a case for just
the people who learned. Yeah.
And then the weird things like Double Dragon 3: The Sacred Stones, like should be boss tier if they had done a better job of it, and yet at the same time could have easily, with the things they botched, been goon tier if it weren't for the fact that the just underlying hitting the buttons to make your guy punch another guy gameplay is so satisfying.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's a very unsatisfying game that should have, like, had some good ideas and should have been great. And just wasn't. Yeah, okay. We are awfully close, and then we can play a little bit more before we're done. You can see how with an actual production team, there's a way in which this could be a little bit more compelling, because we would start talking about a game and then our
footage of it would play.
But I don't have time to set something like that up.
No, in no way do you. I think we're just left with.
I think we're just down to the question.
So I have thought about this a little bit.
Okay, give me your argument either way.
Which is
Nekketsu Fighting Legend.
The true issue here is that fighting games, that is to say true fighting games, never expanded on the idea introduced in this game, which is this 2-on-2 fight, where it is a co-op fight. There's no Mario Kart Double Dash is the idea of the 2-person race team.
There are games like Rival Schools, I think. Like, it's a tag system, but they're a Tekken tag tournament. There are definitely.
But that's not quite the same thing as a tornado tag situation, which is what Fighting Legend is.
Yeah, and it's not a fighting game.
But I feel like if there were more fighting games like that.
For our last play, we obviously shouldn't be continuing our Manhattan Project run. No. We should be playing Fighting Legend.
Let's play Fighting Legend.
I had the brilliant idea that what if somebody who had never played the Amnesia games streamed them at some point? People could see my reactions to the jump scares.
And then you
see, Greg, because that's something that those games are famous for being constantly streamed and Let's Played, so that people can see someone's reactions. That was my joke there.
I gotcha. Is it in the Double Dragon Kunio-kun collection?
Yep.
Good.
Funny thing about the Kunio-kun series is that most of them aren't beat-em-ups.
No.
And the ones that aren't beat-em-ups are also mostly great.
Yeah, Dodgeball famously. Another classic.
Dodgeball's not even one of the best of the Kunio sports games. Like, the best Kunio sports games are like, geez, Street Basketball is great. Both of the soccer games. Both of the track and field games. The hockey game is great. I've never played the Super Famicom baseball game, but I will someday. I mean, we'll probably throw it in there at some point.
All right, let's hit up Fighting Legend here.
Here we go. Quality up, absolutely, because just there's a lot of slowdown and flicker in this game.
That's very satisfying.
Yeah. Up until the last moment there. I don't know why. But they were like, while our company's logo is playing, just what the clock does at noon.
Which mode?
Let's just do battle mode.
Yeah, 2 players.
No,
yeah.
We can just select characters from the pre-established ones.
These are the different kinds of dudes. The fighters, the martial artists, the kung fu's, and the judos.
Yep. I think I'll be a judo guy.
Alright.
I'm gonna be heavy browed Oku.
In that case, I'm gonna go Kung Fu. I wanna be... Here we go. Enza. Which button am I hitting there? Here we go.
Oh, got it. My voice is a moment ago. I've been like sitting here trying to remember what we were talking about just now that you were responding to it that caught my attention.
I believe it was the clock.
Yes.
I think you gotta just click through on this.
Oh, yeah. Opponents. What did you pick? You picked a Kung Fu guy. So let's do
a martial artist and
Shiba
a
the
fighter.
fighter.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they made that decision.
Oh god, great stages. So you're saying this doesn't feel like a fighting game?
I don't think it does. Like
we just selected characters and now we're selecting a stage, and now we're selecting the ground rules.
But the selecting ground rules and stages that actually matter beyond being a background are not conventions of fighting games.
I don't think you've played enough fighting games because yes, they are. Do you not think the stages matter in
what? What's a fighting game like? It's a controversial thing where fighting game nerds, when they want to play, Smash Bros, will only play it with like a bunch of stupid host rules to turn it into a fighting game, which include playing on the Final Destination stage so there's no platforms to jump on.
But
that's in a
dumb.
platform fighter. It is dumb, but
Like,
that's a
but
thing
that's
about fighting
accepted
games.
as dumb. Like okay, you say that, but there are plenty of official tournaments.
Aren't you the guy, Panza? The guy with the glasses on?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I'm the guy in the gi. We're
Oh
on a
no!
team.
Did I just beat you up for
You
a
were
bit?
just
Sorry,
railing on me.
I was just taking down everybody I could see. I would agree with you, James, that there are fighting bros who are like, we gotta play on this stage, we gotta turn
No,
on
but I mean, like,
fighter."
for competitive play, that's how they play.
Not always.
For competitive play, yes, it is.
No, there are plenty of tournaments where that is simply not true.
Anyway, I think it's stupid. But I'm not because of fighting, any principles of fighting games. I can understand the argument there. But I think that, if you want to play Smash Bros.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that the entire design setup of the ice factory is very confusing. Like, what does it benefit you in your fridge, in your giant industrial freezer, to have really steep hills or slopes?
I do feel like I'm kicking these guys' ass. Ooh, yes, I did.
Yes, this is not this part, like, it gets hard. The final bosses are a tough fight.
Yeah, ooh. Well, you
my
paid
bad.
me back.
I love the beat up look of their portraits right now.
Yeah.
The guy who's still up is actually funnier than his friend who's knocked out. Oh wait, he's got his fight back. Oh, that's his reaction. That's his despair at his friend being knocked out, his partner. But then he gets his fighting spirit, his grim determination. Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't mean to pick you up, but once I did, there was only one way to put you down.
There is, like, a viable strategy in this game is knocking people down and then doing, like, a falling, like a somersault move onto them.
Do we now fight each other?
Oh, is this just a 4-on-4?
Well, no, because we're definitely on a team.
I mean, no, maybe we're not. So, yeah. Like, I don't think I classify this as a fighting game per se, but it's not a beat 'em up, really.
No.
It's like beat 'em up gameplay used for a fighting game presentation.
It's halfway.
It's a sport. It's like not even a fighting game presentation. It's a
Oh, nice. Well done.
It's a Kunio sports game where they're like, well, what if they did a combat sport?
Yeah, what would that look like?
You know,
in
like
the world of Kunio?
this is more akin to
Oh, you're
like
getting
Kunio
into it now.
Soccer than it is to River City Ransom. You know what? Nekketsu Hockey is such a good game. And actually way more absurdly violent. You can get penalties, but you can also get away with it sometimes. Just to like wail on
Damn.
on your opponent with your stick.
Wow, I really came back from that.
I'm trying to figure out some of my moves. I know that I've got... There we go. I've got to hit the button right after you land from a jump. Somersault attack. Classic judo maneuver. Oh, no. I had this.
Damn it! Ah.
Ah,
Oh, that's me.
there.
That was close.
Got the feel for my move.
Ah!
Just in time. Yeah. Fantastic game, not a beat 'em up.
Not a beat 'em up.
Okay, which is great because it actually changes our notables to a list of 40,
No, hey!
which is just grand. Okay, so let me go back to our played. Oh, I'm gonna have to change all the numbers. I won't fix that now, or possibly ever,
Yes, that's true.
because actually, now that I think about it, that then breaks all the spreadsheets, all the tier sheets. So, how many games wound up in the boss tier? 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Yeah. 1, 2. No, hold on. We're not displaying. But alright. Alright, phase 1 coming to an end here. And in the boss tier we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games out of 40 in the boss tier.
Okay. So a fair deal in the boss tier.
And like, I don't know, some of these, I don't know.
Well, again, I think we come to the issue of, is any of these worse than the highest ranked mid?
Yeah, and that's why, this is why we're doing this as a
Yeah.
preparatory exercise.
Exactly.
We're not bound by this, but this helped us, I think, because if we look at this, we see that, like, what are some of the things that make a great beat 'em up, Craig? Looking at the boss tier. I mean, one thing is obviously just good fighting.
Yes.
Like, it should be fun and, like, feel like there's something to it. You got some cool moves. You feel cool when you do the moves.
Yes. And like you said, feel like there's progression as well. Feels like you can get better at it.
Yeah, because there's a right time to do the moves. The moves
Yes.
have a purpose beyond just looking cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not enough, because we got Double Dragon 3, the Sacred Stones, right here in the mid tier.
Well, I think
When it has some of the best fighting.
another part of it is that it's not just about the fighting. It's
No.
also about the level design and the enemy
Yeah.
design as well.
Encounter design and level design.
Mm-hmm. And in some of these cases, it's about ingenuity. It's about these games have brought something new and, in some cases, novel. In other cases, just revolutionary to the beat 'em up, like the RPG elements in River City Ransom and period drama.
Yep.
And the sort of
Nowadays, more beat 'em ups are probably made that follow as we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Not any. We haven't seen anything outside of, like, through 1993. We've seen nothing outside of Technos' 2 games there, and then their own failure, Shodai Nekketsu Kunio-kun.
Yeah.
We have seen nothing that took up that mantle at all.
Well, I mean, that's what I would say in the modern games that we've played, the Turtles Splinter's Revenge introduces a little bit of RPG elements that none of the other Turtle games have.
I would say that, yeah, but that progression is closer to just like what the original Double Dragon did. Just like,
yeah, with some level ups.
just
exactly.
like there's character progression, but it's not like what really to me makes the progression options of River City Ransom and period drama so cool is that you can really customize.
Yes, you can.
It's
based
player
on your play
choice,
style.
and it matters what you choose.
Mm-hmm.
You can work on adding different moves. You can work on raising your stats to specialize in certain moves. Different things like that. Nobody really took up that mantle.
No. But then you also have stuff like that I think is just exemplary. Like, I think The Simpsons is like an exemplary arcade game. Same with Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder.
Those are games that have fun fighting, and they have decent enough level design and encounter design. But what's really bringing it home for them is just a certain elan. Yeah. It's a certain, I do not know how you say what it is.
Yeah, the French have a word for it.
Yeah. Yeah. They have that little extra something that brings it all together. Although a lot of the mid-tier games, like, have that, and yet it's just not the same. But
it's just not the right touch, you know? Like,
I don't know.
Like, each of these games...
I think I'd feel differently about all of the CP system games if I saw them in an arcade.
Yeah.
I think I'd be excited about them in a way that I was less excited about them. Whereas Golden Axe and like these ones actually managed, despite having the same aspects of we're playing an arcade game at home.
Yeah.
To them still like rang the bell for me, in a way the other one didn't. Goon Tier is very small so far, which makes sense. We were literally playing the notables.
Yeah.
I expect
this will grow.
Goon Tier ranks will swell.
But that's that.
It might even wind up being a competition between mid-tier and Goon Tier.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like 21 games must have wound up in mid-tier.
Which makes sense. I think the majority are going to end up in mid-tier. And like you said, I think Goon's tier is going to swell. And perhaps...
A majority? You don't think it'll be just a plurality?
No, I think it will be a majority.
Okay.
I don't think we're getting very many more boss tier games. I suspect we are going to find...
new boss tier games will be rare.
Yes. I think we are going to find some gems, maybe even some hidden gems that will go in boss tier. But I think they're going to be rare. I think Goon tier is going to swell quite a bit. But I think a lot of them are just going to be good but forgettable.
Yeah. Mid-tier.
Yeah, mid-tier.
Lower mid-tier, probably.
Where Goon's tier, as opposed to boss tier, where it's sort of hard to find one uniting element, I think Goon tier is fairly simple, which is that all of these have some sort, in some cases multiple, fatal flaws. Just some aspect of them that kills the whole game.
Yeah. It's not about bringing a whole bunch of shitty elements together necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, Battletoads brings a whole
lot
of...
Battletoads!
But that is the unique thing about Battletoads.
Yeah.
Is that it's bringing so much to the table. Mm-hmm. It's trying too many things and not executing nearly enough of them right.
And like
then
you
to add
said,
insult to injury, the first thing they tried, they executed very, very well.
Well, that's what I was about. That was what I was about to say. Which, its fatal flaw is introducing all that other crap. Yeah. Because if they just stuck to their guns and just did 6 levels of that first level, I think it would be a much better game.
Yeah, and yet Battletoads and Double Dragon, the Ultimate Team, still has speeder bikes.
Yep.
Still has
a complete genre shift.
Still has, the repelling, although it's integrated into the levels. And then randomly it's like, okay, it's a space shooter. But even the space shooter has 2 different play styles and control schemes.
Yeah.
And yet it's good enough that it's okay, and then we get back to beating them up.
Yeah, and that's the important bit too. We always return to beat them up. Like, I feel like Battletoads might have even felt better if some of those random levels weren't one after the other over and over again. If it was like, you do this, then you go do this random thing, you do the speeder bikes, and it's like, oh. But then when the speeder bike's done, you get a beat 'em up level, and you're like, okay, we're back to beat 'em up. And then you do the weird snake thing, and you're like, what the hell is this? But then you return to beating 'em up.
Yeah, that could really help.
And a sort of palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Would have, I think.
But also, if the components didn't suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of them are they suck because they're hard in an arbitrary way. Sorry, what?
We're talking about Goon's tier. Do you want to switch over?
Oh, yeah. Most of them in Battletoads are, they're hard in a frustrating and arbitrary way where they just, combine sloppy play control with just layering on, the need for perfect timing and memorization. Mm-hmm. But could it, speeder bike is it's a type of challenge you're used to seeing in a NES game if you're a kid.
Yeah.
And if it was just a little bit more reasonable, it could be a fun diversion. The snake platform jumping could also be the same if it wasn't so long.
Yeah.
The rat race is fun if it was just a little tighter in the control and a little more forgiving, without like stupid tricks like, oh hey, there's a poison gas trap.
Yeah, instant kills constantly.
Yeah, but then there's the level, the hand thing level.
Yeah, well, you've got to
where
change the direction.
Hand bike, where the whole gameplay is just, the toads are gonna go up the wall and along the ceiling, and you need to change which it's Dragon's Lair but less going on.
Yeah.
And but also like there's no amount of polish you can bring to that that'll make that fun or good. That was just a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it again in Battletoads and Battlemaniacs.
What would you say, James, is the fatal flaw of the Rosetta Stone?
It just sucks. Like that's one that just like it introduced microtransactions.
Yes, which is
sucks.
terrible.
It is ugly as sin. When all they had to do was just copy the assets from the previous games, they decided instead to make it look like shit. The fighting is not fun.
No.
And it's calling itself Double Dragons, so it's offensive.
Yeah.
Like there's a level of like you've offended my honor here. That,
like
that
you're stealing.
Compounds it.
It's stolen valor. Yeah. Like you haven't earned the name Double Dragon.
Or like in like Shonen Nekketsu Koa Kunio-kan also gives me a like, why are you hurting me like this? Like,
yes.
When I love you so
very much.
I want to love you, but that's not the reason. Like maybe Rosetta Stone isn't as shitty as I'm saying it is, and
I will say I know we're not ranking them.
No.
But it's a real fight for me between Rosetta Stone and Shodai for which is the best of the worst.
Yeah.
Like, I could see an argument for putting Rosetta Stone above Shodai just because, and it might be recency bias, we played Shodai more recently than Rosetta Stone, but I remember being just so frustrated and upset by Shodai.
Yeah.
Where with Rosetta Stone, it was just,
it's just like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Like, this is
like
this is not my Double Dragon.
It's not interesting enough to be frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. And it does some like the last boss is like an Egyptian god or something.
Yes. Which sure.
So that's notable and
yeah.
different. And yet it's just like, and also we're playing a Double Dragon game and the enemies aren't memorable.
Yeah.
What are you doing to me? So
alright.
So there's a couple things that I need to improve about this spreadsheet. That won't be that hard. I gotta freeze the top row so that when we scroll,
you can still see
it stays which tier.
Yeah.
At some point, I gotta make a little graphic. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the Greg and James beat 'em up sprites, and we'll be standing on either side of mid tier in regular form.
That makes sense.
And then I will do a schlubby realistic version of the two of us for Dune tier.
Sure, yeah.
And then I've already discussed the concept with you. For boss tier, Boss Greg, I will use the Greg beat 'em up sprite, but instead of rollerblades, he'll be on a unicycle and he'll be juggling the knives.
Yes.
And then
and
then I for boss tier will just take my head and put it on a bobo.
Yeah.
And then color blend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't want that to be James really hitting the tanning
my head's
beds.
gonna really it's gonna fit.
Yeah, okay.
I might even take his outline away to get more in line with my no outline style of sprite.
Mm-hmm.
And that might take me months just for me to find the time to concentrate on my art.
But it might be months until we return to these spreadsheets.
But another improvement that I have to make, because this is going to look terrible, is I got to do a display version of the to-play sheet.
Yes.
But here's what's... we got a lot of games on the list.
We got a lot of games.
That are coming. This isn't even displaying properly because there's a... Yeah, we can't scroll to the left here. So it doesn't matter. I just need to look at it. I think we might as well first go back to the arcade and just do some of the... Because if we do just the 1988 arcade games next week, check this out. We get a Technos game.
Okay.
Called Chinagate.
Okay.
Not related to the others. We We get SNK's first beat 'em up, POW.
Which we haven't played any of the
We get a
SNK's ones.
Jalico beat 'em up. And Jalico put out a lot of mediocre beat 'em ups in the early 90s. So this is them like cutting their teeth.
Okay.
And then, well, I don't know. That's not that exciting. Then we move on to 1989. We're going to get Crime Fighters by Konami. So like, we're going to get some games by the big deal developers
Yeah.
that no one remembers. And is that because they suck or just because they fell by the wayside, or there's some hidden gems?
Yeah.
I'm especially optimistic for all the SNK Neo Geo system games.
Yeah, because
There's a real chance of those being great.
and SNK is a developer from this period who are heavily involved in the fighting game area of video games, the brawlers, the fighting games that we have not encountered at all yet because they just didn't do.
Their beat 'em ups just didn't stick in the.
Yeah.
They're not any of the. And maybe some of that is because they were only available on the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
So my parents certainly weren't buying me a Neo Geo in the 90s. In fact, I remember getting my first GamePro magazine and discovering that there was the Neo Geo and the CDI and the Jaguar.
Yeah.
And being like, huh, most of their games seem to get bad reviews. Oh, I guess they're fancier and much more expensive than my Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going back to the arcades. Bust out the old arcade sticks
Yes.
for some clickety-clackety ASMR.
And expect us, unless we do find a gem, unless something really takes our fancy, expect us to run through more games during the show than we
We're going
normally
to
do.
impose that's an extreme improvement that I'll easily make for next time, is a quarter tracker. We'll each have a counter above us so we know how many quarters we've spent. And we'll decide on the limit. I think we're thinking like 3 quarters or 5 quarters, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
You get this amount, and if you haven't at that point made us think like, we'll get through to the end. Then we're not doing it.
On. Yeah.
But another thing that'll make us go quickly is that, at least with the arcade games, I think it stands to reason that even if we do full ones, we will get through 2 full games per day, most likely.
Because most arcade games are pretty short.
They're going to be shorter.
Especially if you're just feeding quarters into them with no care.
Yeah, which we shall.
Yeah.
And yeah, so cool. Phase 2 coming.
Phase 2 coming.
And was there one more thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, no, I did. I said all the things I got to do.
All
which
right.
I mostly said out loud so that I would remember to do them. So,
give us a quick rundown of the week, James.
Anyway, that's phase 1 so far. We're starting phase 2. Great things are ahead. This project is really actually just getting started. This is like in Final Fantasy 1 when you go to cross the bridge after save the princess from Garland.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to the cut screen with the narrative with the light warriors setting out on their journey.
The light warriors.
What a great little scene. This is where we're at right now in our beat 'em up journey. For the rest of this week, come Friday evening, we will be playing Frosthaven with our buddy Rich. Friday Night Frosthaven, we call it. And it's a very exciting episode because we are starting 2 new characters. The Kelp. In Gloomhaven parlance on the internet, you're supposed to refer to the characters.
Yes, no spoilers. Very intense.
Non-starter characters should be referred to by their symbols. We will not be doing that on the show.
No, spoilers on the show.
But even in comments and in like the video descriptions, I try, and I think at least some of the time remember to do that.
That's good.
So we'll be debuting Shackles and Kelp.
Yeah!
So we're excited. I'm excited to be Kelp, and Rich can't wait to be Shackles.
Mm-hmm.
Then, come the weekend, on Saturday, I'll be back in those Green Isles as Prince Alexander trying to save Princess Cassava in King's Quest VI. Air today, gone tomorrow. I wound up pretty much in the same place that I was when I started after 3 hours, after making a lot of progress, which is to say, I started last Saturday being like, well, I've obviously missed something and I'll just go around and click on shit. And that worked out really, really quickly. Thanks in part to a little bit of, because I said, I'll let the audience decide. Should I take my clicking? I was at a 3-way crossroads at the start.
Yeah.
And then Cedric was like, go down.
Yeah.
He had he made it sound like a reason because it's the first screen. The first screen I missed something on because I clicked one away on the pixel, and then when it said Alexander doesn't see anything useful there, I thought it was just saying that he didn't want the driftwood. But if you click on the driftwood, he moves it, and then he finds a box with money in it.
Oh, nice.
which you need to pretty much get the quest started. So then progress came fast and furious until the end, when I was just kind of stymied everywhere I went. So I'm starting in the same place I ended, but I'm very, very optimistic, and I'm loving the game. It's great. Mm-hmm. It's great. Definitely better than King's Quest V. I'm not sure I'm ready to say it's better than King's Quest III, which is, I think, my current favorite in the series. The other Prince Alexander game. I'm an Alexander stan. But, yeah. Anyway, fun stuff. Come Sunday, we're back in that Labyrinth of Worlds. Mm-hmm. Ultima Underworld 2, a game that I'm really enjoying, yet I'm also ready to be done with, and yet also know that I'm not that close to the end of. So that makes me extra sad that, I'm glad I did it. Danielle proposed that we spend Sunday playing games together and having fun in the real world. And so I did that and canceled the stream. But then I realized, that's another 3 hours in the future. That's another week in the future that I got to devote to this game that I'm enjoying, but I really want to get on to the next thing I do. But, it's my compact with the audience. So I'll be back in the Tomb of Prekor Loth, hopefully finding my way through it very quickly. And then at that point, there's one more world in the Labyrinth of Worlds that I haven't found yet. One more labyrinth one more world where I haven't done the in-universe quest. And then it's just the whatever it takes to get to the climax of the At Home in Castle British story, and finding the Guardian's place of power in each of the worlds and using the staff. And then I assume that opens up a final fight or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have fun while I'm playing, but I'm having a harder and harder time getting excited to go to play it. Mm-hmm. It's not until the moment that I fire the game up that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I'm still invested in the quest. Anyway, that's what I'm doing on Sunday, and before you know it, it'll be Tuesday. Phase 2, as you heard, China Gate by Technos. We're really going to be bringing them in. Uh-huh. All of the followers of the China Gate category.
They'll all be there.
We'll get every single one of them. I'm laying my chip down right now. And onwards and upwards. We're glad you've been with us so far, but the best is yet to come. Probably not literally true in terms of game quality.
No.
But the experience and the enrichment of playing all of these games, I assume that's got to be there. Or else what are we doing this for? Take us home, Greg.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Please follow us down below or subscribe. James is offering 30 days of conditional love.
And the ability to participate in the Emoji Wars.
That's true. The Emoji Wars are heating up this year.
Whose face will appear the most in the chat this year?
We are off to a huge start. Thank you, Guided by Voices. Thank you for coming. And remember, until next time, I messed it up. Until next time, remember, violence is never the answer, except in video games. Bye-bye.
Have a nice night.